Okay, so if there are any hairdressers watching this, I need a bit of help with my hair. I just wanted to share something very briefly with you. Sorry, who are you? And how did you get in? Which is that yesterday I was speaking to my father, who is very different to me in many ways, and then in some ways I'm quite similar to him. Anyway, so he's a lawyer, and he also was a judge, district judge for a little while. And
I'm a lawyer.
And he's sort of quite rigid in his thinking, and well, that's what I think he is anyway. I don't think he is anything, but my impression of him is he's rigid in his thinking, which is probably why he is rigid in his thinking when he's around me. And I was speaking to him about the law and trying to be as open as I could. And I was speaking to him in particular, for example, about the fact that they ask you whether you're guilty or not guilty in court, and how that, to my perception of that, is that feels like that's a trick. Firstly, it's interesting that they use the word guilty and not guilty. And I asked my 10-year-old son Uri what he understands by guilty and not guilty, and he said, do you feel bad or do you not feel bad, which I thought was quite interesting. When I asked my father, he said, well, guilty and not guilty when you're in court means, did you do it, and are you responsible for it? And so I was having this discussion with him and trying to point out that, for me, that's a trick, because most people, when they go to court, don't know what that really means, especially if they're not represented by a lawyer. But if they are represented by a lawyer, then there's a whole bunch of other problems with that, which I'm not really going to go into in this video. But if you want to understand more about that, go to tpuc.org. And my 12-year-old daughter, Adina, who sang on one of the videos that we made, my father had said at some stage, I said that the law is all about language. It's all about the use of words and language. And he said, yeah, and the beautiful thing about language is that it can be understood in many different ways. You know, language is beautiful. And then he went on to tell me off for not having this large 2-volume dictionary I got when I was 13 from a relative, that I don't have it in my house, and what a shame that is, and you know how wonderful it would be if I had it and I could look at it and look at the meaning of words.
Well, I'm very bad person.
Anyway, and he was saying, you know, how language is so beautiful, and my 12-year-old daughter just interjected and said, I hate language, right? Which I thought was a really interesting comment. And I said to her, I said to her, well, what do you mean by you hate language? And she said, well, if I want to express a feeling, what I'm feeling, I can't do that with language. I can't express what I'm feeling in a way that someone else can understand what's going on. Of course, my father didn't really as far as my perception is that he didn't really understand what she was saying, because he himself is not used to expressing his feelings. I thought, what an amazing idea, what an amazing question, and I'm going to explore that with her. But just for everyone watching, I think it would be an interesting experience to sit with a friend or a partner, you may already do this regularly, and try and describe in depth what you are feeling at the time. Try and describe and perhaps get the partner to sort of poke you and help you explore what you actually mean. See if you can describe what you're feeling. I did say to her that I know of a young man who's, I think he's now 19 years old, who wrote, I'm sure lots of people have done this, it never occurred to me as a kid, who wrote a diary as he was growing up, and he used lots of his own words to describe his feelings. This was both so that people wouldn't be able to intrude on his privacy, but also because he couldn't find language to describe his feelings in normal English. And it could be that English, and there are, I'm sure, some experts about how English is used, but English is not maybe a very poor language for the expression of feelings, and perhaps for a good reason. I'm sure you conspiracy theorists would say that English was designed in order to take us away from our feelings and up into our heads. Anyway, I'll leave you with that, and have a great day. Bye.